morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel, Cap Social Network, known as also Capri Social Network. So, in today's video, folks, I wanted to talk about the double standard of men having multiple sexual partners as opposed to women having multiple sexual partners. With that being said, fellas, how many of you could relate to when you were little boys growing up and when you eventually started to reach your period of first and foremost adolescence, well up into puberty, how your mother, from your mother to your father, for some of you who were blessed enough to be able to have your fathers in your life as a part of your life, to your uncles, cousins, for some of you who may have brothers, older brothers, encourage you on behalf of you being a boy on how once you were to get old enough to approach females and grow some size, how you would have all the girls all the way through school, throughout school, how you would be able to have so many girls' phone numbers. With that being said, this is what I could relate to due to me being an older millennial, and on behalf of the days when we didn't have social media at all when I was a small kid. Yet and still, us as if you're a guy in your early 40s like me, I know a lot of you fellas could relate to even a lot of you older guys of how you used to have to approach females in person to be smooth enough, first and foremost, smooth enough with your approach and to eventually be able to get her phone number. Because I could remember back during my younger days when I used to get a thrill out of approaching females, although I started out as a very shy person as a kid. But once I was to eventually build up the nerve to be able to approach females, I used to take so much pride in being able to get multiple females' phone numbers. Once again, this was way back during the 90s when we had no social media at all, and part of the 2000s as well, prior to me meeting my wife. Anyway, now on the flip side, anytime girls may have begun to reach the period or stage in life where they were able to reach adolescence and eventually get on their first menstrual cycle, what did they usually have the likeness for? To be able to want to be have multiple boyfriends is what I'm trying to say. Only to be talked down upon for having a boyfriend, especially a lot of the older women like me, older millennial women like me who could recall being little girls back as far back as elementary school and having their first boyfriend, only to get shamed in a sense for having being so young to have a boyfriend, especially once again on behalf of you older women and even part of the other generation before the millennial generation. Some of you may have been so boy crazy, or as the elderly people would say, so quote unquote fast, to the point where some of you may have had as many as 3, maybe 4 boyfriends at one period of lifetime in your much younger days. In other words, in during either your elementary school, if not your elementary school days, especially your middle school days. If not your middle school days, then usually your high school days for sure. And with that being said, us guys, on the other hand, anytime we had a whole lot of girlfriends, where they may have been even as far back in either elementary school, if not elementary school, usually middle school, if not middle school, usually high school, what were we known as? I could just give you an example of if you were a guy that happened to be popular with a lot of the females or girls during your high school days, you may have been considered as or classified as by most of the fellas at your school and a lot of the girls as well as the high school pimp, as opposed to if there may have been a female on the other hand to have so many boyfriends in high school, the same number of, for instance, if she may have had 10 boyfriends all at once while in high school, as opposed to a boy having 10 girlfriends while in high school, she would have been looked at on the other hand as the high school slut, the high school whore, in some cases, the high school prostitute as well. But my point is saying is how much of a double standard it is when it comes to, once again, multiple men having multiple sexual partners, and how us men get slap on the back or a pat on the back, to put it another way, how we get praised, we get validated for the amount of sex we get and the amount of women we're able usually to get. One reason why that is, ladies and gentlemen, is because it's that much more harder for a man to be able to be involved in sexual activity when any woman he may approach, whereas a woman, for instance, could be late at night, or for instance during 11 p.m. at night. Well, I take that back, 10 p.m. at night, due to a lot of Walmarts all across the U.S. closing as early as 11 p.m. due to the COVID-19 pandemic from a few years back. Anyway, a woman, for instance, could be at a Walmart grocery store, any kind of grocery store, around 9, 10 p.m. that night, looking her worst. In other words, could have her hair undone, could have slippers on, could also be dressed in pajamas, completely dressed down with no makeup, only to still get approached by men, and in most cases, men for sex. But when it comes to us guys, we have to go through so many hoops, and you also say hurdles, to be able to have sex with numerous amounts of women. Anyways, and on this note, I wanted to show you first and foremost, some Bible scriptures on behalf of, even way back over 1,000 years ago, how women were judged and shamed for having sexual partners. I also wanted to cover some Bible scriptures to talk about how dangerous it is on behalf of a man fooling with a promiscuous woman. With that being said, not once in the Bible does it say how dangerous or harmful it is for a woman, on the other hand, to deal with a very promiscuous man. In fact, if you read the book of Solomon, and on that note, Solomon happened to be a man who happened to have over 700 wives. Not once throughout the whole book, although Solomon is not that much of a big book or long book in the Bible, was he shamed at all for having 700 women. On the other hand, you never, hardly ever remember reading about the scripture. For all you Bible followers and for a lot of you spiritual people, how many times have you ever recalled reading about women having that many husbands in the Bible? Not once. And if she did, she got punished for doing so in some of the most harmful of ways, for being very promiscuous. Also, she got labeled, for the most part, as being a whore, a prostitute. Anyways, and with that being said, I'm going to show you the Bible scriptures on behalf of this topic. After that, I'm going to show you several, and I do mean several, TikTok clips covering both this topic and this subject as well, involving a double standard between both of the sexes when it comes to, once again, a man having sexual partners, multiple sexual partners, as opposed to a woman having multiple sexual partners. So bear with me. And I'm going to share my screen. Now, this is part of the King James Version, which is my favorite interpretation of the Bible. Translation, you could also consider it as. Now, listen to me closely, ladies and gentlemen. How it says, "For a whore is a deep dish, and a dang." And what? Let me read it again. And I'm do apologize for stumbling over my words, which I still have the tendency to do. Once again, my apologies, folks. Let me read it as slowly as possible. "For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. She also lieth in wait as for a prey, and increaseth the transgressors among men." So I'm going to stop sharing this window, and I'm going to read to you about Gomer, who happened to be the wife of Hosea, or Hosea, however you pronounce it. By the way, this paragraph being highlighted is part of my work right here. Gomer was the wife of the prophet Hosea or Hosea. In some translations, she is labeled a prostitute, but the more accurate description is that she was simply promiscuous and had extramarital relations. Gomer and Hosea's relationship and ancient Israelite marriage shows how women were ostracized for extramarital sex, while such behavior was tolerated, if not encouraged, in men, paralleling the relationship between Israel and God. Gomer is also never given the ability to speak for himself, but is rather shown as the victim of abuse from both Hosea and God as punishment from her promiscuity. Once again, and in a nutshell, hold on. I'm, and I do apologize, folks. I thought I shared my screen, which I forgot to do. Once again, I'm going to read it again. Gomer was the wife of the prophet Hosea. In some translations, she is labeled a prostitute, but the more accurate description is that she was simply promiscuous and had extramarital relations. Gomer and Hosea's relationship and ancient Israelite marriage shows how women were ostracized for extramarital sex, while such behavior was tolerated, if not encouraged, in men, paralleling the relationship between Israel and God. Gomer is also never given the ability to speak for herself, but is rather shown as the victim of abuse from both Hosea and God as punishment for her promiscuity. So I'm going to stop sharing this window as well. And I want to share my feedback, both my feedback and perspective on how basically what I just read talked about how Hosea's wife, Gomer, was punished and shamed, judged for being a whore, or to put another way, having multiple sexual partners, having an extramarital affair. Once again, not once in the Bible, ladies and gentlemen, does it talk about a man on behalf of having so many women, whether they may have been either wives or concubines or just women they may have had extramarital affairs with. Not once does it talk about, ladies and gentlemen, how men were shamed for doing so. Instead, it talks about how men, for the most part, were praised for doing so, were also worshiped for doing so. Until this day, once again, this has been over 1,000 years ago, back when these events happened during the Bible days. Until this day, ladies and gentlemen, there is still a double standard of both men having sexual partners as opposed to women having multiple sexual partners. Anyways, I'm going to go straight to TikTok, once again pertaining and showing different clips, different reels covering this exact here topic and subject. So if you bear with me,
ask you. One of the things you asked me, you was like, "Did you do your research?" That's what you asked me, right?
I did.
Now I go online and I see all these videos of, oh, Diamond the Body did this and that, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me personally, I thought it was cap.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was, but that's just me. Over 1,000 guys.
2,000.
2,000. This was two. Over. So I'm like, this lady say, cause I said 1,000. You said 2,000. I'm like, this lady say she done slept with over 2,000 guys. I'm like, nah, bro. That's what she said. This
but
just
why do you say no?
No, but this just me.
I know, but what was your thought
like,
process of why you think like, nah, she can't do that?
Like, I mean, you're a young lady.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're doing your thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think that, like, nah, you about 2,000? She just talking. I get it, because, you know, they always say, like, clout is like the
No, it's a drug, absolutely.
People just be saying, we all know you fine. You know you fine.
It
is what it is, you hear me? It is what it is. But that's a lot of guys. I'm like, so what's it like, you know, when I was younger, you know, I went through some things, and a guy, he just, you know, I was interested in him, and he made me feel good or whatever, and I decided to go on this path. What makes you go on that path to say, look, I'm going to be with this guy, that guy, fuck it. I don't care, I'm free, liberated, whatever.
Money. It was nothing more, nothing less. Like, I wanted money, I needed money. I'm getting money. It's transactional. I'm not just fucking 2,000 niggas because I just love sex so much. No, nigga, I've got bills to pay. Nigga, pay my bills. And the niggas, they pay my bills. They love paying my bills.
Wow.
All I gotta do is fuck them. Why not? That's it.
Next, folks, I'm going to show you also a clip of two more clips of two more women who happen to have sex with multiple men. One of them happen to have sex with over 40 men for, I know this may sound pretty hard to believe, and at the same time, just as sickening as this right here, this very first clip that I just played. But once again, this next, one of the next women I'm about to show you, and one of the next clips, claimed to have had sex with over 40 men for her 40th birthday as part of a birthday present. Yes, you heard it correctly. Had sex with over 40 men on behalf of her turning 40 for her 40th birthday. I will also show you, believe it or not, another clip on behalf of a woman who had sex with over 919 men within a 12-hour time frame. On that note, this here female happens to be a porn star, although I never have heard of her before until I read about this story, which is straight up foolish. And judging by this one story alone, I could tell this female happens to have a whole lot of screws missing, if you could catch my drift. Happens to not be the sharpest knife in the drawer, because what woman in her right mind with any kind of decency would have sex with that many men within a 12-hour time frame and be glad to brag about it? Although she really didn't seem to be that excited after having sex with so many men within a 12-hour time frame. Believe it or not, and I know you're gonna laugh at this same female happened to go to McDonald's because she claims she was bored. Yes, bored after having sex with over 900 men within a 12-hour time frame, which is even more crazy and foolish, and even more proof that she's not the shortest, well, she's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, and she's also a few sandwiches short of her picnic as well. So here they go.
Women had sex with 919 men in a single day. Least.
You must have your flaps hanging down to your ankles, girl. But wow, there's me struggling to get laid once.
Sex with multiple women for validation of your self-confidence makes you a weak man.
Right.
Okay? There's a lot of men that be trying to have sex with a lot of women just for validation, and he's weak, he's insecure, and he really needs to do some soul searching to understand where his values are and his core values are. You know what I'm saying?
Slippery slope.
But what I'm saying is having sex with women because you just desire and you truly have that appetite is different.
Have you ever given a high five to a homeboy who recently fucked a new girl?
All the time.
Then you're part of the problem.
But I don't know. But the thing is, I don't know his intentions.
His intentions was your high five, bro.
No, boy. But if I high five him, am I high fiving him because
you knocked her down, or is it because I know you liked her and
or because you're seeking validation from? In my mind, I'm not.
You're people pleasing.
Yeah, well, not people. I
just want to say.
No, you're not people pleasing.
On your 40th birthday, you set yourself a challenge, which was that you would sleep with 40 men in one day.
That was my birthday present for myself.
I'm surprised you could walk after that.
Bit of a sore back, but no, it's fine.
And did you afterwards think, you know, what am I doing?
No.
No.
I had the most fantastic day. Afterwards, me and husband sat there then, having a drink all night.
Sleeps with a bunch of men, it's harder to penetrate her mind and make her fall in love with you. And it's unattractive. But if she's had 30 dudes inside of her, she really gonna think, you know what, this guy's so special, or she's gonna think, you know what, he talked to me real, let's go get a new guy. Whereas if a woman's only been with a few guys, she's much more likely to fall in love with you, be a better partner. So the likelihood of her falling completely in love with you, and really believing you're the only man for her, after being through so much trauma and so many men, and sleeping with so many dudes, and having her heart broken, and having those memories of her ex, and all that crap she's been through, is far less likely than meeting a nice, young, beautiful girl who hasn't been with many men, and she goes, you know what, this is the guy, I like him. Every woman who knows this, every man who watches this can be honest. Women fall in love with the person they lose their virginity to, or their second or third guy, they really remember them, they really love them. Any woman who slept with 50 dudes, she doesn't even remember who most of them are, she doesn't care. If a woman slept with a bunch of men before you, she's less likely to stick it out through a difficult period in a relationship, she's more likely to just say, you know what, the new answer is That's a pretty good answer. And that's the truth.
Hold on. Stop there. You're going too fast because I want to get to your points. Now, she's receiving the dick. Now, what I want to know is that how is her receiving the dick messing with her mind, and how is her mind being messed with? Give me an example of how her mind gets messed up.
Don't you agree that when a man has a woman and they become official, that he is imparting his game to the bench and she conforms to whatever his ideology is? Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do agree with that. Now,
okay,
hold on. I agree with that. Hold on. I agree with that. But guess what? That has nothing to do with him fucking her.
Yes, it does.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
So wait. So does she learn about your ideology through your dick or through the things you say and do?
Okay, you didn't create human beings, man. The creator did that, and so you don't understand everything about human beings' minds, how their minds are wired. And I'm telling you that when a man fucks a lot of women, is different than when a woman gets fucked by a lot of men.
I'm going by what you said. You said, hold on, you said that she takes on his ideology. Do you know what an ideology is?
She takes on the man's mindset.
Okay, right. So what I'm saying is that is a man's mindset in his penis.
Sir, if you think that if you're out here teaching dudes that a woman can have fucked 1,000 dudes, and she can still be a good woman to that man and act and she can completely go back to the same woman that she was before she fucked anybody, you're lying to dudes, man. I hope you ain't lying to niggas like that.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to learn because I obviously I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm trying to learn from you because you're the expert. I know you're the expert. I'm trying to learn from you. So what I'm trying to say is that how hold on. How is a man's ideology transferred through his penis? I would love to know that.
Did you hardwire human beings' minds?
No, I'm asking you. Explain it to me. I'm asking you to explain it to me.
I didn't hardwire human beings, but I took notice of the fact that out of all the women I dealt with, all the women I done seen in my life growing up, and I've seen women that I got women that I've had as friends on a platonic level that have fucked a lot of niggas. And I've seen what happens when a bitch fucks every dude and women that don't have a lot of dicks.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. If a woman fucks a lot of guys and all the guys she fucked were intelligent guys who had a good head on their shoulders, would that make a difference? Because if she takes on the ideology, hold on, if she takes on the ideology, shouldn't she be taking on all these ideologies that make her more enlightened and smart and intelligent?
Let me say this real quick, Mr. Carter. God damn, I'm over here.
Well, number one, wouldn't you mess with Brittany Renner? Because she kind of
I'm not attracted to her type.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's it. You know, I'm not attracted to her type.
Okay, and her type is what?
Go get out money. You know, like I'm not attracted.
I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I want to show a video of Boosie giving his take on why he would prefer not to be with a woman with multiple sexual partners, but this is not the clip. However, and nevertheless, I do have another clip coming up. So be patient, ladies and gentlemen, as I get ready to show it to you.
Renner, she did an interview and she said she slept with 35 men.
Yeah, then I saw again, she said she slept with 3 in one night.
Yeah.
That's not adding up.
You think it's higher than that?
I don't know, but that's kind of not adding up. How old are you?
She's probably about 30.
30 times 3, 30, and you probably start fucking at 15. So 15 years times 365 days is how many days?
5,475.
And you fuck 3 niggas in one night. But you only fuck
35 total?
35 total. But she said, I could have believed her. But when she said 3 in one night, I had to start multiplying.
Okay. Okay, so let me ask you a question.
That's too many, 35. Now, if you're finna ask me that, bitch, you a hoe.
That's too many.
Yeah, you're a hoe.
You're a hoe.
You're a hoe. I don't know how other people think.
Okay.
But I don't want no bitch that slept with 35 niggas. You know.
That's too much.
Yeah. You've at least been burnt 7 times.
Y'all just don't know how big of a fool Boosie is. I mean, when all caps are straight up fool in a funny type of way. And why he's saying how he can't be with a woman that's been with that many men, he's a fine one to talk because judging from my understanding, he has around 8 children by 6 different women. Although, and like I said earlier, it's a double standard because let that be a woman with the same amount of kids by the same amount of men, how she would get shamed big time and looked down upon, how she would get, in other words, called a slut, a 304, a tramp, a thought, all kinds of demeaning names. Whereas men like Boosie, a lot of them who we see around the hood, some people could call them the community baby daddies, get looked at as kings, as players, as studs. Instead, all kinds of good names or synonyms that comes with having multiple sexual partners as a man, or even multiple baby mamas as a man. I could go on and on with all the good names that guys get. To be honest, in my personal opinion, it's really not good for a man or a woman, according to the Bible, judging from a biblical perspective, to have multiple sexual partners to begin with. Once again, though, the Bible worship back during the Bible days, men as opposed to women who had multiple women, as opposed to women who had multiple men, were always, and I do mean always, praised for it, worshiped for it in all kinds of ways. For some of you people who may know about and study the Bible. Anyways,
with zero intention of being in a relationship. Zero. We get encouragement from everybody around us to do the wrong thing, starting with our moms early, right out of the gate. Like when a mother has a handsome son, what's the first thing she says? Oh, he's going to be a heartbreaker when he goes out. Look at him. He's so handsome. Oh, all of the girls are going to just be, fawning over him. Your dad, your uncles, you know, man, back in my day, man, I used to have them. I had 3 or 4. We go to the parties. I get 10 numbers, or I do this, I do that. You know, all the women wanted me back in the day, boy. And then you go outside and your homeboys, what y'all doing? Y'all competing. Oh, man, let's see who can get the most numbers. Let's see who can have sex first. And women, y'all don't get to escape culpability in this as well. Most women are attracted to men who a lot of women want. So again, that is encouragement to a man from all angles to go out here and just stack up attractive women like I'm collecting Pokemon cards.
By the way, this is on behalf of you women that are feminists. In other words, women who feel like just because a man may have sex with multiple women and could be worshipped for and validated on behalf of doing so, then so should you be able to. I don't care if you may feel that way. This double standard or things would never be the same as far as having multiple partners compared to being a man, multiple sexual partners. Once again, as a man as opposed to a woman, even if things were to eventually start to be equal, which once again, I don't see them being equal anytime soon as a result of women who have a problem with the double standard, how a lot of you females can't have lots of sexual partners, including a lot of you who have a lot of baby daddies, not realizing how bad that makes you look. I'm just calling a spade, whether you like it or not. And this just goes to show you once again, and on behalf of women by the likes of Amber Rose as well, and especially who had the nerve to enforce or organize and establish a slut walk, which to me is just straight up buffoonery and an oxymoron. In other words, a contradiction of terms, taking pride in being a slut. Once again, there is nothing, I do mean nothing, folks, about being promiscuous as a woman. due to how your reputation, for the most part, means everything. And you are supposed to, according to the Bible and judging from a biblical perspective and standpoint, carry yourself in a moral manner instead of having sex with multiple guys, just tarnishing your reputations. Anyways, and it's also, this video is also on behalf of how a lot of you females worship rappers by the likes of Meg Thee Stallion, Sexy Red, Ice Spice, Sukihana, all who are considered as dirty sluts, whores, tramps. I could go on and on.
Here, this don't bring me home a disease or outside baby. Men are not supposed to be with one woman. Y'all are kings. Y'all can be with multiple women. All of them women you are entertaining, make sure you make them happy. And we all can get along. One big family. I don't run no nigga down. Hey, baby. As long as I'm happy, she happy, we good. No babies, no disease. I ain't gotta kill nobody, we good.
And you heard it for yourself. You heard it from, quote unquote, the horse's mouth, ladies and gentlemen, how this beautiful young lady even said it herself, how a man is supposed to have more than one sexual partner. Once again, this is judging from a woman's perspective. Anyways, because I do have more footage for you.
And so men have been conditioned to have more than one woman. So what did we say? When he's a child, we have been conditioned. When you're a child, what did they say? When you say, you ask two kids, a male and a female at 7 years old, if the little girl says she got a boyfriend, they're like, hell no. No. You do not. But the little boy, you said, I got two girls. He said, you the man. You got two girlfriends, keep it up. And what happens, that conditioning goes with him. And he says, wait a minute. I am validated if I have more than one woman, more than one girl. I'm validated. That means I'm good. Now, what you don't know is in this subconscious programming, our mind is a powerful thing. I study the mind. And what happens is now you grow older, and now you begin to pursue that thing, more than one woman.
Now, this right here is about to be a clip on behalf of Tokyo Tony, I believe it is, Blac Chyna's mother, in other words, giving her perspective on the difference between a man having more than one sexual partner as opposed to a woman having multiple sexual partners. By the way, Blac Chyna happens to be a woman who happens to fit that description. A woman who a lot of you will consider as a whore, a slut, a tramp, a thought. Anyways,
So what do you feel about the man who sleeps with 100 women where he's revered, like they look up to him, men and women, like, oh, he must be, he's there. And the woman who sleeps with 100 men is looked at like as a hoe.
Well, there's some logic behind that, okay? All right. There's a difference because women are the value. Nobody is bitching about a person that got 15 bank accounts with $100,000 in each one of them, right? Ain't nobody tripping about that. Ain't nobody tripping about a person with 15 necklaces, diamonds, right? Ain't nobody tripping about that. Cars, right? People name their cars after women. Ships are named after women. All of those things that I just named are feminine. They're feminine. The feminine is the value. So a woman, a man, they got, let's say, 5 different women. Each one of those women have something, and they pour life into that man. The more things of value, right? Women are the fucking value. You surround a woman with a bunch of men. The male is not the value. They suck you dry. So every man that touch you, they take it from you. They take and they don't put it. So if you fucking 100 men, you got 100 men that took life out of you. What are you worth after all the men that took from you? Not a goddamn thing.
Yeah, actually understand.
Yeah.
Specifically what you said.
Yeah.
So what do you feel about the man who sleeps with 100 women where he's revered, like they look up to him, men and women, like, oh, he must be, he's there. And the woman who sleeps with 100 men.
Now, I did say this in this last clip, this woman happened to be Tokyo Toni, but don't quote me because it could be a lady who I just mistaken for Tokyo Toni. If she's not Tokyo Toni, aka Blac Chyna's mother, please feel free to let me know in the comment section, and please forgive me if I did mistaken her for Blac Chyna's mother, Tokyo Toni. After all, we all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. Before I end this video, which I'm about to do, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you first and foremost like the video, you comment on it, you share it, last but not least, you subscribe to the channel. Until next time, I hope you guys